got 10 minutes. Heat. We're on.
Are we live?
We're live. I just need to do a little. Oh yeah. Here we go. Might want to put it in there. The game start. How early are we? We're 50 minutes early. You better pop that in the chat. Someone should. All right, we're live here in Embrun. We have the Ottawa Heat versus the Montreal HC. Game 2 of this little tournament. It's a beautiful day. It's 20.5 degrees out.
20.5 degrees. We were outside to experience it.
We were. And, now don't hang over too much. I can see everything on your phone here. You don't want to take away from the action here. You don't want to take away from the action. We have Jackson net. Starting back, we have Falkenberg, Varga, Luca, X. We're underway here with Cummings on the wing. Varga picks that face-off win up. Cummings is going to bring that in. He's got some speed. X breaks to the net.
Nice angles.
There's some nice angles, yeah. Montreal's going to try and break out. They pop it up. Varga picks that up at center. Varga, we're kind of this is actually the best camera angle here, Britt, believe it or not.
We can move it down a bit.
Yeah, I need to move it down a bit. There we go. There we go. So, Britt, we're in an old barn here.
We found a perch.
We found a perch. We're good there.
Two pigeons.
We're just two pigeons clucking away up top. Here we go. Face off winning the offensive zone. Dax Bennett. Albert misses that just a little bit in hot pursuit. Montreal HC picks that up behind the net. They wheel around. We're going to draw a hooking penalty on that one. Albert pops that around. We're going to go on the penalty kill here. Looks like we got a hooking for, put that in there. Don't forget that. Who we got going there? Brian sees Zach Moore. Zach Moore going to the box for 2 minutes for a hook.
I think I heard him say, I don't know what I did.
Yeah. We're mic'd up here, Brett. We can hear everything. We got all this. We got it all here. We're pretty much between the benches here. Face-off win from Bennett. The Heat are able to almost get that out. Bennett follows it up. Then Thunderbolt dumps it in. Norris in pursuit. Forward check on the short-handed opportunity. Norris with control. Norris still battling in the corner. Can't quite see it, but the Heat Montreal's going to walk out with that. Montreal goes for a breakout. Albert shows down his man. Centering pass blocked by Alberts. He has time and space. He's able to pop that all the way down. Heat are going to go for a change. Montreal's going to regroup in their own zone and try that again. Max Hebert. He's putting a little pressure on. Montreal's going to try and break out here through the neutral zone over center ice into the Heat zone. Kelly forces man into the corner. Ooh, oh, they're not going to call that one though. Kelly battles into the corner with his man. Montreal walks out with that, has a little bit of control. You have the Heat putting on pressure down low. Kelly knocks his man down. Puck rings around, picked up by the defenseman for Montreal. He dumps that back down low. Montreal still working around. Centering pass picked up by Varga. Varga over to Gauthier. Gauthier with control. He's going to pop that up to center. You have Dax putting pressure on over to Jacob. Jacob with the puck. Stick handling, centering pass behind the net. Montreal picks it up in the corner. Falkenberg keeps it in. Falkenberg keeps that again, dumps it deep. Heat are going to go for a line change. Your blade snapped in half?
What?
We have Montreal that goes... We're getting a little penalty box conversation going here. It sounds like Zach Moore saying his blade snapped in half. That's not good. That's not what you want to happen in the middle of a hockey game. I don't know what he's going to do for the rest of the game. We're going to monitor that one. Meanwhile, you have Montreal trying to stick handle through. Falkenberg picks that up down in the heat zone. He wheels around, breaks out, pass intercepted, weak pass intercepted by Montreal. Woo. Lucky on that one. Montreal shot goes wide. We have Luca. Luca over center, breaks into the Montreal zone, tries to take on 4 of them. Puck goes wide into the corner. Whoa! We have a little bit of a reverse hit going for the Montreal player. That'll be interesting to watch. Varga shot blocked. Picked up again at center by Varga. Varga over to Kelly. Kelly's going to take that for a skate. Ooh, centering pass just goes wide. Montreal picks it up in their own zone, tries to break up the boards. Centering pass. X is in back check mode, tries to break down for Montreal. They're going to get a shot here. Shot just goes wide of the net on the open opportunity. We see the Heat trying to regain control in their own zone, but Montreal picks that up. Kelly tries to get that out, but again, Montreal intercepts that as well. Cummings with the back check, tries to pick the pocket of the Montreal player, but they still gain control. Cummings is able to pop that off to Davidson. Oh, no, that's Luca. Luca and X on the attack. Centering pass, intercepted by the Montreal players. Falkenberg picks that up at the line. He dumps that down low to X. X is wheeling down low. He's hit from behind. That's going to be a penalty. And we're going to see the Ottawa Heat going for their first power play of the night.
Can he play? No, he can't. He might have an extra step. Yeah, Doc's allowed. Doc's allowed.
All right, face-off win on the power play. Ooh, good shot by Norris. That's a hammer, snipe from the point. Right in the slot. We have a 1-0 game. The Heat make quick work of that, 8 seconds in. Yeah, we gotta do that. I gotta go. Yeah. We're running back to even strength after that power play. Behold. Caleb pops out of the zone. Dax over to Dax. Dax is in time of space. Nice shot, just goes wide. Norris picks it back up in the corner. Norris behind the net over to Dax. Dax centering pass to Dax, intercepted. Montreal picks that up, breaks out through the neutral zone. Duke shuts that down. Montreal still in control. Centering pass goes wide. Dax picks that up, jumbles it around. Falkenberg picks it up. Can't get it out. Ooh, centering pass. Whoa! Just goes wide. Norris pops that out to Dax. Dax is going in. Dax pocket pick from behind. Dumps into the corner, goes for a change. Montreal trying to get control of that. Kelly tries to keep, he is able to keep that in. Dumps that into the corner from McCrimmon. McCrimmon picks that up. Centering pass intercepted by Montreal. Montreal tries to break that out, takes Davidson into the boards. He looks a little shaken up on the play. Ooh. We're going to see Davidson just take a moment. He's taken awkwardly into the boards. Britt, what's the status on Zach Moore's skates?
What I'm hearing is his blade snapped in half, but it's still hanging on in the holder. But lucky enough, Dax Hebert apparently has an extra set in his bag, and they're the same size. So shout out to Gislaine for buying him an extra pair.
Yeah, supplying the team from Germany. Luca breaks in for the Heat, centering pass. Intercepted by Montreal, and Montreal is going to have an opportunity to break out here. Varga breaks that up in the Heat zone. X has some time and space to skate. Centering pass over to Luca, intercepted by Montreal. Montreal in their zone, looking to break out through the center. Pass poked wide into the Heat zone. Covered up by Jackson for the whistle.
The Heat up 1-0.
The Heat's up 1-0. The Heat is up.
The Heat is on.
The Heat is on. Bruh, I gotta say, this is a very poorly made rink. The sight lines are terrible. Built in 1827
the last one, though.
by the Amish. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Dax. Loose puck picked up by Bennett.
I wonder if that's actually an insulator.
Bennett shot, walked into the corner, picked up by Dax. Two Daxes battling in. Norris staying out, ready for it. Montreal walks out with the puck. Caleb trying to keep that in. Battling deep. And Montreal managed to just walk out with that. Jackson with the save down low. Norris picks that up behind his own net. Looks to get it out. Norris has some time and space. Breaks out loose. Tries to deke the last defender. Not quite there, but he gets it back. Loose puck in front. Shot just goes wide from Dax. Other Dax centering pass. Other Dax tries to take the shot. Other Dax takes a shot. Blocked. Montreal with control of that. Pinch goes wide, and Albert's on a 2-on-1 opportunity down low. Low shot, kicked out by Jackson. Falkenberg takes his man to the corner, battles deep, loose puck behind the net. Gauthier behind the net. Jacob with the puck. He comes out with some time and space, a little bit of speed, picking up over center into the Montreal zone. He still has a shot, and it just goes wide. Luca with the backup. That shot is blocked. Shot out to Varga. He sends a headhunter just over the net. Kelly picks it up. Up high, works it down low. Varga with the puck. Pops it back over to Davidson. Davidson, full control. And we have a delayed penalty called on Montreal. What? What size are skates? Do they have one? Go check Caleb's bag. I don't know if it's the right size. For some reason I think it might be a 230. These are Bauer's, right?
Yeah.
Is it CCM? I don't know if it makes a difference. You can go check if you want. In Caleb's bag, you'll see up on the side. Yeah. Just go. Dig through his bag, see if you can find. It's going to be in like a Howie's case or something similar. We have a little bit of a broken skate issue for Zach Moore on defense that we're trying to sort out in this situation. But in the meantime, the Heat have a power play for the last 42 seconds of the period. Luca breaks down low, tries to get control of that. Montreal breaks out, goes for the dump. Varga picks that off. Sick handles this around his man. Over to Kelly. Kelly over to Varga. Varga picks that up over the blue line, breaks in. Varga with some moves. Still has full control. Varga over to Kelly. Kelly over to Luca. Luca with the shot. Bounces around like a pinball. Squeaks out. Montreal picks it up. They try and clear it, but Luca stops that from happening. Dumps that back into the corner. There's a little bit of push and shoving going down low. It looks like they're just going to try and hold that for the last 1 second of the penalty. So a pretty quick game back and forth. A lot of movement on the fly. Not a lot of time for either team to set up at this point. One nothing for the Heat versus Montreal. with Britt having to bail out to figure out a skate blade for Zach. You're looking at a one-man show. We're trying to run the camera, the scoreboard. Simply too much, but we'll see if these the Ottawa Heat can take it back here in the second. Keep momentum if they carry it on. They're carrying through a 1-0 game. Face-off win into the zone. There we go. Falkenberg with a bouncing shot, pops up wide, gloved by the Montreal goaltender. Britt, what do we have going down there?
We're trying to set.
Yeah, we have a set of skates for Zach Moore. Luca's the one that has a pair.
The Bauer 230.
He's ready to go. So we're doing a little skate blade action right now.
Oh, we didn't start it.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit of a mess, the scoreboard with a one-man show, Britt. I can't do it all. Just one man.
I believe you can do it. We're good.
All right. So we're currently watching a Heat power play. You have the Dax line with Norris. We're going to see another penalty here.
Hey, Zach.
We're going to see a penalty. We're going to see even strength 4-4 for 3 seconds. We're going to see Dax Bennett, I think, go into the box for 2 minutes for, I think it was body contact was the call. So as we try and get ourselves organized back on what's going on, we're going to see a 4-4 for 3 seconds. And then the Heat are going to be on the penalty kill for 1:57. Montreal wins that draw. Get the puck, dump it into the corner. Now being on the penalty kill, Ottawa's going to try and set this up for a couple of downs. Luca battles deep. He gets control, shovels it up, intercepted at the point by Montreal. Montreal dumps it in. Bouncing puck picked up by Jackson. Holds it for the whistle. It looks like Zach Moore has his skate replaced. He's back in business. A big shout out to the equipment staff. Montreal working their power play. Cross ice pass. Shot just goes over the net. Montreal picks it up down low. Pressure behind the net. Varga tries to put that on. Montreal picks that up in the corner. Shot goes high and wide. Montreal still putting pressure on. Pops it to the point. Intercepted. Oh! The crowd goes wild on that one. Jacob could have had a clean break, but stick tangled up by Montreal. No call on the play. Montreal's given time to collect themselves. Ooh. Nice play by Kelly to hold on to that and stop that. Long pass from going wide. Montreal pops it into the Ottawa Heat zone. Picked up by Davidson. Davidson dumps that all the way down. I'll kill about 8 seconds off the penalty. Cummings on pursuit, chases that down, putting pressure on Montreal behind their own goal line. Montreal tries to clear it out, stopped by Zach Moore. He's able to get that puck down low. Albers with the big pinch. He keeps that down low again. Puck picked up by Cummings down low. Tries to put one on net, deflected by the Montreal players into the corner. Montreal again tries to collect themselves. Having a hard time getting themselves organized here on this power play. Montreal up into the Heat zone. Albers back to defend. Shot block. He blocks a ton of shots. Puck goes into the corner for Zach Moore. He takes a tumble. Puck crosses over for Albers. Albers tries to clear it up, but Montreal's Magic gets there. Montreal picks that. Puck off the clearing attempt. Manages to get a little bit low. Has all the time in the slot. Pops the top shelf. We're looking at a 1-1 game in the second period. All right. Tie game. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if these the Ottawa Heat get themselves organized here, Britt. Face-off win back to Falkenberg. Falkenberg up to Cummings. Cummings breaks in with some time and space. Luca, with support, picks the puck up behind the net. The Heat are going to want some support back there. Montreal tries to dump it up, picked up by Varga. Varga dances around his man. Ooh, but they still managed to get that out. Caleb back to pick that up, but he has pressure coming from the Montreal player. Pass around the boards, picked up by Varga. Whoa, centering pass, nearly picked up by Montreal. X picks that up in the neutral zone, dumps it down. Cummings in pursuit. He's going to get there before anyone else. Tries to sidestep his man, but Montreal holds on to it. Montreal clicks into their zone. They go for the breakup pass into the neutral. Whoa, big save from Jackson to bail out the defender, Caleb Falkenberg. Montreal is able to, they move the puck quick and are able to get in behind the defenders. So you need to be aware of that. Cummings dumps that down. And they go for the change.
Sorry.
We're going to have a defensive draw for the Ottawa Heat. Full strength, 5 minutes, 49 seconds left. The Dax line. Dax wins that back to Kelly. Kelly over to Moore. Puck goes wide, picked up by Montreal. Montreal with the shot, going to be swallowed up by Jackson. A little bit of an early whistle, but
shut it out loud.
Shut it out loud. There's some antics after the play here from this Montreal team. They have way too many players on the ice right now with the late change, but none for the wear. Montreal picks it up at the point, dumps it down low, curls into the point. Low shot just goes wide. Montreal slap shot, weak and wide. Ooh, Montreal picks the puck right off the clear. Kelly goes in deep to pick that up. Clearing pass goes wide. Montreal gains control of that situation. Montreal working it down low. Moore in pursuit. Moore knocks his man off the puck, but it's picked up by the other Montreal player. Montreal player working down low. Has control. Pops over to his player for support. He's able to knock him off the support. Dax over to Dax. Dax dumps it down. Norris in pursuit. Dax picks that up off the boards. Dax giving his man the business, but Montreal walks away with it. Montreal breaks into the Heat zone. 2-on-2. Albert's pressuring his man into the corner. Dax and Falkenberg force the Montreal player to pop it around the net. Mishandles that. Defenseman comes in from the point. Centering pass hits behind the net. Alberts pops around to Norris. Falkenberg able to pop that out, gets it down. That's going to be icing for the change. Defensive face-off won by Davidson. Varga picks that up. The Montreal players are beating the Heat to the puck on a fairly regular basis here. Kelly's working down low. Jacob gets that puck. He's able to get it out. McCrimmon picks it up going into the Montreal zone. He stops and thinks. He has all the time in the slot. Nice shot up high. Glove down by the Montreal goalie for the whistle in the offense zone. All right, we're gonna have the Luca line out. Luca, X, and Cummings. Montreal, a little scramble. Montreal has it at the moment. Luca pressures his man in the corner. Kelly pops it over. Montreal's there to intercept, but Varga walks away with it. Varga has time and space for the shot. Woo! Shot just goes wide. Sends a howitzer. Love to see that opportunity. Kelly back to pick that up. Kelly tries to turn back, but works with a second effort to get the puck away from the Montreal player. Kelly moves up to Cummings. Luca picks that up. Luca breaks into the zone with speed. Carries it into the corner. Can't quite see it, but he's working really hard down there. I know he is. I can see his feet. Varga with the shot. Just goes wide.
Dangling.
Yeah, he was dangling like a madman down there. Cummings working down low. X tries to poke it out front. Puck falls up to Cummings. Cummings goes hard into the boards. X has it behind the net. He's working hard. Over to Luca. Puck just popped off his stick at the last second.
Just gotta get a bit quicker at the passes, quicker at the release.
Yeah. They're taking a little too much time. Oh. Just offside. All right. Yeah, I think my daughter just went to go get us beer. That's the dream. All right, here we have the Dax line with Alberts and Moore on defense. Montreal pops it off. Alberts in pursuit, knocks his man off the puck. Pokes it up, but Montreal's able to hold on to it. They down below, but Dax is there. Dax over to Moore, over to Norris. Norris gets around his man. He has some time and space. Dax break into the net. Moore pulls back. Dances around his man. Still has control behind the net. Norris picked up by Dax. Montreal picks that off. They go behind the net. Try and clear it out. Moore's going to keep that in. Moore to Dax. Norris. Dax Bennett tries to poke it off, but Montreal picks that up, coming into the heat zone. Albert pushes his man out. Puck just goes wide, but nobody's there other than Dax Bennett to clear it up. We're going to have matching penalties here for a little rust off after the whistle. We're going to have Zach Moore and we're going to have 2 roughing penalties. Five on 5 match penalties. McCrimmon has that. Ooh, Montreal walks out with that. Shot on net. Falconer pops out right through the middle, intercepted by Montreal. Montreal is dancing on the line, still has full control. Montreal pops it right over the place, picked up on the point by Montreal. Montreal with all sorts of control here. Davidson tries to get it up. McCrimmon skates off with it. Oh, nice pass. McCrimmon over to Gauthier. Gauthier fires it with a lightning quick reflex by the Montreal goalie to hold on to that. It's a little bit of a fluster show.
Yeah. There's an elevator underneath.
All right. Ooh, Montreal, I don't know if you'd say they won it, but they almost walked away with it. Puck goes low into the Montreal zone. Loose puck, Albert's going to pinch. Albert pops out over to X. X is triple team, and Montreal's going to walk out with the puck on that one. Cummings brings over for some help. Montreal still has that puck going down the boards. Ooh, there's a hit. Now we're going on the power play. After a little body contact on, I think, Luca. 2 minutes for body checking. Can't do that, Britt.
Can't do that.
Can't do that for another couple years. All right. So we're looking at a power play for 2 minutes. Yeah, the Bennett line with Kelly and Alberts. Ooh, Alberts, Kelly keeps at it. Nice move at the line. Dumps it down low to Bennett. Bennett over to Dax. Dax tries to get it up to the point. Oh, a beautiful play to keep that in by Alberts. Bennett for support, but Montreal eventually gets control and dumps that down. And there's going to be enough pressure on Dax, and he's going to hold on to that for a face-off down low. 5.9 seconds left in the second period. try this again and see if they can get out of the zone. Maybe have time for a quick shot, but it's going to be tricky. Face-off draw gets tangled up. Kelly picks that up, goes behind the net, rims around the boards. That's what's going to end for the second period. So, Brett, what are we thinking here? What are we thinking here for game 2?
Game 2, I think this is definitely a game that the Heat can win.
I agree.
They got to come together here in the third period, and they just got to button down a little bit. Get more shots on net.
Yeah.
A little bit more passing. I see Coach Tony right here is working at them.
They're working the board. Britt, they might need you to lean over and just start yelling some instruction over at your kid once in a while. I'll do the same for Caleb. You know what? You still feel like there's a ton of talent here. It feels like they're not still quite clicking to their fullest potential. I'm sure it's going to come though. You know it's going to come.
These refs are in a hurry.
These refs are ready to go.
They're in a hurry. We started 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a dinner to go.
They might have a dinner. Some people might be tuning in thinking the game's just starting, but it's not. It's just ending. Third period here. 15-minute periods.
Let's go, Heat!
Oh, we have a crazy man in the crowd yelling. Here we go. Power play opportunity for minute 34. Montreal wins that draw and just dumps it down. Falkenberg goes, picks that up in his zone. Falkenberg loses it. Vargo over for assistance. Vargo some time and space, looking for them to start breaking out. He's got to start moving their feet here. Varga over McCrimmon. McCrimmon tries to take it over the line. Davidson's able to pick that up. Shot blocked by kind of breakaway. Yeah, we have a Montreal player down. He went hard into the boards. I didn't quite see it, to be honest with you, Brett. I don't know what happened.
I don't think there's a penalty on the play. I think it was just a battle down low.
Yeah, I think so.
Just kind of fell off.
There's not a lot of movement, though, from the Montreal player. You don't like to see that. While the player tries to collect himself, Brett, you notice that we have some tinfoil on the ceilings here in Embrun. I don't know if you can see that.
It's the best insulator up there.
It's the best insulation there is. These beams go back to the silent era, Brett. The Montreal players see.
Amish, but there is electricity in this building.
Yeah, well, it could have been an afterthought. You never know. Montreal player is able to get off the ice with a little bit of support. Hope to see that he's okay. Still on the power play. Heat wins that, dumps into the zone. Albert's going to pick that up in the Heat area of operations. They're still sick handling it, but Montreal still picks that up. Kelly has it. Pops it up to Luca. Luca skates over. Luca's going to get a shot on net. Football is wide and swallowed up by the Montreal goaltender. We're at full strength here. The Dax line. Montreal picks that up along the boards. They take a look. Swatted down by Dax. 1-on-1. Montreal versus Duke. Duke shoves his man right off of the weight. And they're going to call that, but I mean, he's like a Clydesdale, like a little tiny touch, and the kid goes flying.
That's a weak call. That's just going hard for the puck.
That's just going hard for the
That
puck.
was leading with your stick.
That's
You got
leading
the
with your
puck,
stick.
Kid falls. It's a penalty.
They're 2016, so their muscular system isn't quite as developed as the scientific term.
Oh, man.
All right.
But at the end of the day, it's not their fault. It's the referee.
That's right. It's all about the kids. The Heat able to win that face-off. Caleb Falkenberg dumps it down, and it's picked up by Dax down low. Dax is wheeling and dealing in the Montreal zone, but Montreal sweeps in to pick that up. Montreal goes now to break up. Montreal breaking through. Varga takes his man, and Jackson swallows that up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to collect ourselves in the defensive zone here. You have Davidson. Davidson goes to win. The Montreal player falls right on it, smothers that up. Support over by McCrimmon. Davidson pokes that. He's going to have some time and space. Davidson taking on a couple of Montreal players by himself. Still working hard. Montreal finally gets control of that. After three of them collects on Max. Montreal's going to get ready to break out here. Max takes the puck right off his man. Causes Montreal to stumble and reset. Ooh, good poke by Falkenberg in the slot. Oh, it's all for naught. The backdoor pass and goal is going to take Montreal up to a 1-goal lead. And we're looking at a 2-1 game here with 12 minutes left. Back to full strength. We have Davidson line out with Jacob and Luca. Kelly blocks that clearing pass. Montreal still has control of it though, and they break in. Puck poked off. Luca picks that up. Luca with some time and space. Puck squirts out to center ice. Montreal's quick on the loose puck. Davidson knocks the puck off the Montreal player. Pops back into the Heat zone. Moore's able to get that to center. Luke intercepts that. Davidson with some speed now in control of the puck. He breaks into the Montreal zone. Taking off the puck. And Montreal collects it behind their own net. Luca with the pressure down low. Jacob picks that up. Jacob over to Luca. Just squeaks wide. Montreal's still battling hard in their own zone to keep us off the puck. And Montreal's finally able to collect that and break through the neutral zone, through a couple defenders, over to a pass, and Kelly's going to get that behind the net, pop it back up to Jacob. Jacob gets the puck knocked off his stick. Loose puck. Ooh. Kelly accidentally takes a stumble, and Montreal tries to take, whoa, shot in the slot just off the iron. Montreal still picking it up low. There we go. Zach Moore, he's going to go with it. Zach Moore over to X. X is going to break into the Montreal zone. X puts the shot on net, and again, that's going to be swallowed up by the Montreal goaltender.
You got a dim screen.
I might lose the scoreboard here. Can she hang on for how much? Whoa. Oh my gosh. The Montreal, the streams from Montreal are heard around the globe. Montreal breaks into the zone. Forced behind the net by Falkenberg. Montreal centering pass. Scramble in front. Montreal still has control. Alberts pops up front. It's in the slot. Loose puck. The Heat are able to pick that up first. X is breaking down the ice. Into the zone. Centering pass. The Heat pick that up. Davidson working down low. Ooh. Puck squirts around. Picked up by Falkenberg. Falkenberg dumps it cross ice. Montreal's going to pick that up. Here comes Montreal into the heat zone. Montreal turns and spins for space. They dump it off into the corner. Centering pass picked up by Cummings. Puck knocked off Cummings' feet, but he's able to get control, push it back into the neutral zone. Montreal picks that back up. He's going to reset into their own zone. Ooh, breakout pass intercepted by Dax. Not able to capitalize though, and the puck still comes up to the neutral zone. Varga with some time and space. Varga's dancing around some of the Montreal players. Varga behind the net, staring past to Hubert. Oh, it just goes wide. Another shot. It's still in the opportunity, and there we go. It's an absolute scramble in front. Norris is able to pop that into the open net after a couple opportunities from the Heat. We're looking at a 2-2 game with a Dax line with Norris getting us back on track. And you know what, Britt? That was hard work by Varga. He was dangling. He was
Kept
juking.
possession of the puck 3 times.
Did 3 different times. Face.
Fantastic play, nice finish.
That's a hard-working play, and that's what this Ottawa Heat team needs to do to keep her going. Ottawa working down low. Puck squeaks out of their zone. Varga's going to pick that up. He has a little bit of pressure from Montreal. He's tripped up. Kelly battling low. Puck squeaks past the goal line behind the goaltender. Ooh. Kelly up to Norris. Again, loose puck. Still a loose puck. Norris gains control of that. Over to Dax. Dax tries to dance around the Montreal player, but puck gets knocked into the corner. Clearing opportunity. Kelly puts the pressure on that. Montreal centering pass. Zach Moore there is there. Whoa. Montreal just squeaks past the defender and pops it right over the pad. Montreal with a quick return. The quick return fire. It's a 3-2 game. Davidson lines out. Whoa. Montreal breaks in. High shot. I think that went off Jackson and went wide. There's a bit of a rocket though from the tight angle. Montreal wins that face-off draw. Their defenseman dangles around a couple of their players, but can't do it all himself. Luca's going to break into the zone. Yes, Troy, that's McCrimmon. McCrimmon centering pass goes wide. Montreal picks that up. They're going to pop that into the zone. Zach Moore on the attack. Zach Moore pops it up. There's no one there from Montreal, so we're going to almost get that out. Montreal still working it down low despite having double coverage. Albert's over to Dax. Oh no, sorry, Jacob. Shot goes wide, picked up by Montreal. Slap shot blocked by Alberts. He blocks a ton of shots. Puck just kind of sitting there. The Heat's having a hard time getting control of this. We're going to see Jacob chase his. There's some interference. I'm not going to call that though. Montreal tries to wheel and deal that. Broken up by... Oh, puck just goes wide. Cummings working hard. Varga up top. Goes for the pump fake on that one. Puck squeaks loose. It's a 1-on-1, 2-on now developing for Falkenberg. Caleb pops that up. Jacob Gauthier is able to pick it up on the boards. Still has it. And that's going to be offside. Some pretty fast-paced action going on here, back and forth. But again, there's not really a lot of setup. There's not a lot of setup. Everything's on the rush here. It's all on the rush. We're gonna see a face-off.
Jason Spezza like moves
Yeah.
between the legs.
Lots of
behind the
Spezza.
back,
Lots of Spezza.
And we need to have our eyes up.
That's right. Montreal walks away from that draw with the puck, skating into the heat zone. Falkenberg pressures his man, but pass picked up by Varga. Puck behind the net, picked up by Montreal. Montreal starting to cycle. Shot swallowed up by Jackson. We're going to get a draw in the defensive zone. 6:13 left in the third period. What was that? Falkenberg over to Cummings, over to Luca. Luca dumps it in. Allo puts some pressure up. X putting the pressure as a third man in. Montreal still walking out of the zone with that puck though. Falkenberg going down low. Whoa. Great backhand, but just the defensive effort's not strong enough to get back and be the first on that puck. And Montreal with a 2-0 lead, working it down low. Kelly picks that up on the line. Once again, intercepted by Montreal. Montreal cycling around. Dax picks it up. He's in the slot. Shot this is wide. Puck rings around the corner. Kelly's going to pick that up. Ooh, Montreal's able to poke that wide. Alberts has control. He's able to get that into the neutral zone. Dax Bennett ends up with it, break into the Montreal zone. Dax skates over it, and Montreal's going to pick that up, try and break on in. Kelly does a good job tangling his man up, knocks the puck loose, puck popped up in the slot. Shot goes wide, intercepted by Alberts. That one stings for about the 10th shot block he's had so far tonight. Norris has the puck going solo. Davidson in pursuit to help him out. Norris battling behind the net. Davidson for support. That puck was loose for a second, but managed to pop out into the corner. Davidson still working hard to get control of it. Loose puck picked up by Montreal. Zach Moore pops it up to Davidson. Davidson to Gauthier. Jacob breaks in. He has some time and space. He's working with a lot of speed. Carries it behind the net. He's double teamed by Montreal and loses the puck. They're still working low. Jacob still has control, but Montreal walks out with it now after being again double teamed. Varga's down low to try and gain control of the puck. Puck still popped up. Crimmins in to help. Puck into the Montreal zone, but picked up by Montreal. Cross ice pass squirts into the heat zone, picked up by Montreal. It's Davidson down low for support. Jacob ends up picking that up and carries it back into the zone just to reset. Jacob over to Zach. Montreal is able to get there. Oh, but Zach breaks that up, pops it up. Ends up on the Montreal defenseman's stick.
Come on, guys.
Montreal defenseman still walking around. He ends up to get a shot. Loose puck. Dancing around behind the net. Zach Moore ends up with it. Zach Moore is going to say enough of that. Dump it down, go for the change on the icing. Here we go. 2:40 left, down by 2. Draw goes into the corner. Montreal's battling for it. Wolf, centering pass, just goes wide. X ends up picking that puck up. He pops up to Cummings. He comes over into the Montreal zone with speed. His tip gets angled up. Falkenberg on the blue line, dumps that back in. X picks it up down low. X still working down low. Back to Falkenberg. Falkenberg over to Luca. Luca, nice shot down low. Rebound out front. Montreal picks that up and skates. Montreal centering pass. Shot stopped by Jackson. Goes wide. Montreal still in control in the heat zone. Montreal working down low. That's going to be swallowed up by Jackson. They're going to have a... They're going to go for a little line change and a little reset. All right, so Montreal's going to pick up the puck in their own zone after a draw causes the puck to find its way down there. Montreal's looking to break out. Morris is putting on pressure though, and he walks out with the puck down low. Still has control of that. Montreal ends up finding it. Loose puck spurts out. A bit of a scramble, but Dax Bennett ends up with it. Shorting, a shot goes for the centering pass. Loose puck. Davidson almost able to bring that one home. Swallowed up by the Montreal goalie. We have an empty net, Brett. I didn't even see that until I saw it on the screen. That's pretty good that you have that. All right. Dax down low, centering pass. Just goes wide. It's still bouncing around there, but swallowed up, and we're going to go for another face-off. Face-off win back to Varga. Varga winds up, takes a shot, goes just deflected wide. Davidson centering pass, goes behind the net. Davidson goes to pick that back up. He's tripped, no call on the play. Puck still working down low. Montreal is able to poke that around. Dax Bennett in pursuit. He stops that, clearing pass from getting out. Dax still has control, centering pass, nobody there. Puck goes into the corner. Looks like Montreal's just trying to hold it, but sorts out to Varga. Varga's going to let it go. And that's another cannon go. Just goes wide. Kelly with the shot. Blocked by Montreal. We have Dax working way down low. The other Dax is working down low. Davison tries to get up to the point, but he's tangled up by Montreal. He still walks out with it. Norris is able to almost gets a handle on that. Shot blocked by Kelly, goes into the corner, and that's going to be how this one wraps up. And that's where we're going to end it for today. We're back at it at 9:30 tomorrow.
It wasn't the heat stay.
It wasn't the heat stay, but
have a good sleep and regroup tomorrow.
That's it. All right. See everyone tomorrow.